No.
Okay.
But have problem with the volume, kind of static sometimes. It's not clear.
Oh, my volume?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if everybody experiencing the same thing.
Guys, oh, how
Is it?
about you guys? Am I clear or there is a problem? Siddharth, Ritvik.
Voice is very clear. Clear for me.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
that's clear.
Okay. So it's
Okay.
probably a,
Yeah, but sometimes. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Go ahead.
maybe your side there's a network issue. That should be okay. Okay. So I'm starting again. So the very first thing is we need to create a Java project. You can go to File, you can say New, and you can choose a Java project. Uh, that's so this gonna it's gonna pop up a dialog box, and we're gonna start our first project. So it's day 01, and the first project I'm just gonna say introduction. Okay. So this is I'm saying right now if you're saying it's saying choose 1.7 environment, but you can choose 1.7, but I will probably say let's choose 1.6. So you can choose anything. I mean that should be okay. So 1.6, and I say next, and then I say finish. Okay, so this is how it's gonna look like. This is my first Java project looks like. The project has got something called a source folder. This is a folder. It's called source folder, and then it's also showing me that there is a JRE system library that has been added as part of this whole thing. Now, if you see all of these things, this library has got all of the jar files. Okay, now the jar file is a very important term in Java. What jar files stand for, like if you talk about any programming language, every programming language comes with some libraries or some sort of API, and using those APIs, you're gonna write some program and then you're gonna execute those programs. So for Java, when Java gives you libraries or the APIs, what they do is they package those libraries or the API in .jar formats. So all of these .jar formats is actually kind of, you can assume that, or you can right now you can understand in a way that these are the collection of the classes or collection of the APIs that Java has written, that is gonna, and that actually is useful, and that actually is necessary to write any other Java program. Okay, so if you wanna write a basic Java program as well, you need all these basic libraries to execute a program. And when I was doing like install a Java, download the Java, install it, that actually what it means. You downloaded the Java, you install it. So what you did is you registered JVM, and you also downloaded all the required Java files. Okay, so let's start now. Now back to the source folder. In the source folder, the very important thing before you start writing Java program, you need to create something called package. Okay, so you choose source folder, you right click, choose source folder, you right click here, you click new, and there's something called package. You have to start using a package. Okay, now it's saying name. Okay, there is one very important thing when you're working with Java. It's called naming conventions. Okay, and this is not a rule. This is a best practice. Okay, so I'm saying, let me just tell you what it means when I say day 01. Okay, so what I did is I just named my package as com day 01. And what I mean by this is I'm just trying to give my package a meaningful name. Okay, so I mean, you should not, like some people do, like they just give any something, any character or anything like that. But that really does not make sense, right? So you as a good Java developer, you always try to inherit these habits that you give a very good name. The names that if somebody gonna look into or somebody gonna try to understand, okay, what this package is all about, they should understand. So I say, okay, my first package, I can say Java day 01, okay, or I can say Java training day 01. So this, if somebody gonna read this, anybody can understand that. Okay, I think this is about the Java training and day number 1. So yes, always remember this is a best practice that you try to name things, or you try to name your your packages or anything that comes in, in Java with proper names, names that is meaningful. The other important thing is in package, everything has to be small character. I mean, like numbers is okay, but packages should be of small character. So everything in small letters. Okay, and I say finish. So we just created the very first package. Now we're gonna create the very first program, the very first Java program. All of these things you can say these are the basic like is is kind of uh, it's kind of like structural changes or structural things that you need before you write a program. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go new and I'm gonna write the very first class file. Okay, the very first class I'm gonna say hello world, and here you have to choose public static void main. That's the main method that you're gonna add in your program. Okay, and I'm gonna discuss more about the main method. There is something called generate comments. Okay, we're gonna see. Let's say if I choose generate comments, so it's gonna do is it's gonna generate some comments in your class. Okay, so now let me just finish this and see what happens. So see this one. I got a file. It's named helloworld.java, and that's how it looks like. Okay, so helloworld.java is my file name. If you see, it has got all of these things. I'll explain one by one what it means. So these things, can you see these things? These are called comments. These are called multi-line comments. You have like one backslash and then double star. So it's gonna add a comment. For example, if I show you right here, I say slash and double quotes, and when I gonna press enter, it's gonna automatically gonna add a block. So this is called multi-line block comments. Okay. So again, comments. What comments is all about? Comments means that you are just adding some description in your program, but that has no role when your program gonna execute. These comments has no role when your program's gonna execute. The only purpose of the comments is to write some metadata, some meta information about your program. For an example, I am gonna say I can write, okay, this is my first Java program for day one, right? So it's just anything, it has really no role when the program gonna execute. Okay, but again, as a best practice, as a good best practice for the Java developers, it is always good idea that you write as many comments as possible, because what happens is when you're gonna write good comments, let's say you wrote a program that today, and if you're gonna open the same program after 5 months, 6 months, or 1 year, if you have written good comments, you would be able to understand your program quickly, right? And let's say if somebody else read your program, so if you have written good comments, for other person it's going to be more easy to understand the program. So writing comments is a very good thing. Okay, it's a very important best practice that Java developer should follow. So I suggest you to start working on best practices from very beginning. Okay, so if you're gonna start following the best practice from the beginning, that's gonna take you, or that's gonna help you to put this as a habit. Else it's gonna be very hard to adapt these practices. Okay, now what happens is, now let's try to understand the structure of what we just generated. So the file that we generated is called helloworld.java. The very first statement of this one tells me the package. Okay, it tells me, okay, this hello world Java belongs to this package, and the package is what I had created before. It's java.training.day01. That means it's just an indication that, okay, this class, hello world.java class, belongs to a package called java.training.day01. The second statement, what it's doing is it's initiating or declaring a class. It's saying public class hello world. Okay, let's assume, okay, right now people who little bit have the object-oriented experience, they're probably going to understand what public means. Right now, let's think in this way. Okay, this is the required keyword. Okay, so and we're gonna change it further. But okay, this is a keyword that we're gonna use to create a class. It's public. The class is a keyword too. So all these red color words are the keywords. So class is a keyword too, and then your class name. and then you have these curly braces. This is one beginning and the one the end. So that's say, okay, your class started and your class ended. Okay. Now the next important thing is you need, when you're gonna write a program, okay, and when you're gonna execute your program, you have to provide a starting point. You have to provide, okay, my program gonna start from this point, right? So that starting point is called main method. So Java, for any Java program, the only executable starting point is the main method, okay? And the structure of the main method has to be this. It's public, static, void. All of these three are the keyword. And then you put a main method, okay? And then you are passing an array of strings. So this is how we define an array of string. Guys, again, I'm going again for those people who don't have any sort of, I mean, if you have even C or C++ experience, I'm sure you will be able to understand this. But if you don't have that sort of experience as well, so just calm down. You need not to worry about that, because we're gonna connect all of these things again. I mean, when we're gonna start working on more and more, you're gonna understand this. So right now, maybe you just try to grab as much as you can. So okay, so we are passing an array of string in the main method, and then the start and the end of the main method with the curly braces. Okay, so this is the main method, and then we're probably going to delete this statement because I don't need that, and then I'm going to write my first statement. So what I want to do is using this class, I want to execute a print statement. Okay, and I want to execute a print statement that's going to print hello world on my console. So I say system dot out dot println, and I say hello world. Okay, so this is the way to print a statement in console in Java. It's called system dot out dot println. Java is a case sensitive language, so it's here. If you see S is a capital, if you're going to make it small, that will not work. It's going to give you an error. So if you see this error right here, is telling you that okay, system cannot be resolved, because there is nothing like system where S is small. You need a system where S is capital. And now that's what I was telling you. Now because of Eclipse, you see how fast or how efficient Eclipse is. As soon as you done a mistake, as soon as you did something wrong, immediately Eclipse told you, okay, there is a problem that you did. Okay, if you're gonna write the same thing using Notepad will never gonna tell you until you compile the program. But Eclipse internally always keep compiling your program without even your knowledge. I mean, you don't know how it's doing it, but it's doing it, and it's telling you, okay, you have done something wrong. So you can always correct this. So that's why working with Eclipse is efficient. It's good because it helps you to fix your problem as soon as possible. Okay, so this is our first Java program. Now, how to execute the Java program? To execute a Java program, you just right click on this one. You say run, and then you say Java application. Oh, what is saying? Java exception occurred. Oh, it happened because in my package I have used Java keyword. I should not use Java keyword in my package. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to change my package name. So what I'm going to do is I just choose my package. You can always say refactor, and there is something called rename. Okay, rename. So you see this one. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to say, okay, instead of Java, I'm going to replace it with com. Okay, com.training.01, and I say okay. So if you see this one, and now what it's telling me is telling me that okay, in your program somewhere you have used all of these things. So let's continue. So see this one. As soon as I change this one com, in my hello world.java as well, my package statement has been changed. Okay, and now instead of it's Java, it is com now. So now again, this happened because Eclipse is giving that sort of functionality. Okay, you cannot achieve, or that's not normal Java behavior. That is, Eclipse has given you that sort of option. Okay, if you have referenced something, and now if you're changing it, let me try to change all the places wherever you have used that name, right? So that's what it did. Guys, any questions so far?
So the Eclipse is actually like an editor.
Oh yeah, exactly. IDE stand for editor. Yes.
Yeah.
No questions from me.
Okay. So let me just execute this program right now. So for execution of this program, what you have to do is you have to do run, and you say run Java application. So see this one, as soon as I did that, there is something called console right here. Okay, and it's showing me hello world. So whatever I had just given here, it printed. Okay, it printed the same thing. So now let me just quickly revise the whole thing. What I just did is, if I go back, first thing I did is I created a Java file. Okay, that is yeah, as part of Java file, I created a project and the package, but the ultimate thing is the Java file. So I created a Java file and then I just run the Java file. But that's what happened. But that's actually in between. There were a couple of more steps that actually happened. What happened is when I created this Java file, my Eclipse compiled this Java file and created a class file. So what happened is, in between, my Eclipse compiled the Java file that I created and created a new class file. Okay, and then when I say run the file, what I'm doing is I'm actually running the Eclipse, running the class file. The class file that is creating in this step. Okay, so this is how it's happening. But Eclipse is actually kind of, not showing you all of those things, but that's happening. Okay, let me show you exactly how they're happening. If you choose this project, right? Okay, if you go and if you click on here on properties, okay, something called properties right here. You click on this properties. Okay, and then you go to Java compiler. Can you see Java compiler? So Eclipse is compiling your Java. Okay, so Java SE, Eclipse is compiling your Java file that you have just created and creating a class file. Now where exactly that class file has been generated, that you can see from your Java build path. So you click on this place, you go to your source, and it's saying the default output folder is the bin folder. So what's happening is everything that you're writing into your source, Eclipse is compiling and creating the class files into the bin folder. Okay, that's what it's doing. So let's see where is the bin folder. So if I go here, let me just choose a file system. If I go to properties, I go to resource, it tells me where is this file has been created. So I choose this one and I say console, and I'm going to the location. So see this one. So in this, when I reach to the project that I've just created, it's showing me the source folder, but it's not showing me the bin folder. So bin folder is created right here. So if you open this build folder, okay, what happens is the package is, you assume that the package, when we create a package, it's like you're creating a directory structure. So under the bin or under the source also, you will find like com, training, and day 01. I'll show you. Let's say if you open the source folder, you will find first folder com, second folder training, and then the day 01, and then your file hello-world.java. So your hello-world.java is, you can see from your Windows Explorer. Now you go back and you open the bin. So bin exactly gonna follow the same directory structure. Okay, it's just now instead of Java you're gonna have a class file. Can you see there is a dot class file? Now we did not create this class file. So who did that? Eclipse did that. So Eclipse compiled the Java file into a class file. And when you running the file, when you say, okay, run the Java file, what happens is the Java actually run the dot class file. Okay, so far, any questions, guys? Just shoot the question. I mean, you have any confusion, anything that you're trying to understand, you can ask me. Yep, go ahead. Somebody was saying something. Yep, go ahead. Somebody was saying something. Ahmed, Siddharth, Ritvik, any questions on this stage?
It's pretty much clear.
Pretty much clear? Okay, so let's move further. So and then what we did is we ran the program. Okay, so this is the very first Java program that we just saw, and we run it, and we are able to print a statement on the console. So right like this, you can write as many statements as you want. So you can say system out dot println. So if you see this one, Java is giving me suggestions. So let's say when I said dot, so Java is giving me what are the possible option that you have. It's called suggestions. Okay, so I'm sorry, Eclipse is giving me these suggestions. So again, Eclipse is also popular, or Eclipse is also useful because it tells you the suggestion so that you as a developer will not do a lot of mistakes. Okay, you say okay, print. So let's say if you say printf, so if printf is if not available, your Eclipse probably not gonna suggest you. So you say okay, so you say println, and then you can write, hi, this is the first Java program. Okay, so you just did one more system out statement, right? Now let's quickly talk about the starting point, the main method. So for Java, if you want to execute a program in Java, you need a starting point, and the main method is the only starting point. So for an example, let's say if I create one more method, something like this, I say public static void, and I name it, let's say hello, okay, and let's say I pass like all of these string array. So this I say args, or everything exact same. I'm not doing anything differently, and so I say, and then you just come here and you did this way, and you probably in your hello world, and instead of like you say hello world 2 and Java program 2. So even if you saved it, now if you run this program, if you run this again, okay, it will not gonna show you the other two statements because this is the starting point. Okay, so your program started from the very first line of the main method blank. It's actually nothing, so you can actually delete that. You execute the first statement, you execute the second statement. That's it. It will not run this method because from your main method there is no reference. There is nothing like that. You asked your main method to call hello method. Okay, if you want to do that, what you have to do is you're probably gonna say okay hello, and that's it, and you're probably gonna pass like null. Okay, so you can do that way. So now you call an hello method from your main method, and now if you're gonna execute this, you will find other two statements as well. If you see this one, now you're gonna find the other two statements because what you did is from your main method you call hello method, and now you are reachable to the hello method because you are calling a hello method from your main method. So again, and that kind of chain can go further and further. So this is called a functional behavior, the functional programming language where you have a lot of behaviors and you call one behavior from other behavior. Okay. Yeah. So again, the main method is the starting point of your Java class, so this is what happened so far. Let me quickly show you the presentation now. So far we were just trying to see a very good understanding of Java, but now when I'm gonna try get into theoretical side, it's gonna make things easy for you guys. Let me just quickly do that. Sorry. Okay. So core Java Day 1 introduction, quick introduction. Programming language library that we have already discussed, IDE, integrated development environment we have discussed, Java download and Eclipse. So we saw that we need to download Java, or and then we need to download Eclipse. You can also try to work with NetBeans if you want, but in our session we're not going to do that. So I would probably say just try to play with Eclipse, and when you say okay you have time, you probably try to install NetBeans as well. NetBeans is definitely not as intuitive, as friendly as Eclipse is. Okay. Now, quickly, what is Java? From a programming side, we have already discussed about that. Java is one of those programming languages that is based on completely object-oriented concepts. Uh, uh, that's kind of like quick definition. And what about the history of Java? We have 3 editions of Java. One is called Standard Edition. We call it Core Java. The second one is called Enterprise Edition. We call it Advanced Java. And then third one is called Mobile Edition. That's a different edition compared to the first 2 edition, and that actually take care of things related to mobile devices. Okay, and in our sessions we're only going to discuss the first 2 editions of Java. Now the next point is, what are the characteristics of Java? One of the very important characteristics of Java is called the portability. Okay, it's kind of like it is a platform independent language. Okay, Java is a platform independent language. What does it mean? Let me just quickly explain you what does it mean. So what happens is, now if I go back to my Eclipse, what I just did is I am using Windows 7, and I downloaded Eclipse. I wrote a program. I executed the program, right? I have this one. I executed the program. Now what if I wanted to take the same thing to the Linux and Unix? So what's going to happen is, okay, before even if I go further, there is few more important things that happen. We downloaded the Java, we installed the Java. Again, remember that when you install the Java, you always install Java that is specific to your operating system. Actually, what happens is Java is made of 2 parts. Now it is important to understand, guys. So just try to give a little bit more emphasis. Java is made of mainly 2 things. Okay, one is called made of 2 things. One is called libraries. Okay, libraries. Okay, the second one is called JVM. Okay, Java Virtual Machine. The stand for Java Virtual Machine. Okay, sometimes we call it JRE as well. So wherever you see JRE, that's called Java Virtual Machine. And then the libraries. Okay, and combination of both of these actually make a JDK. Okay, JDK, which is stand for Java Development Kit. Okay, so combination of all 3 makes a JDK. So what happens is plus compiler. Okay, so combination of these make a JDK. So what happens is, when you run your first Java program, so what you did is, if I show you, you created something called hello world.java. Okay, your Eclipse is compiling that. So Eclipse has compiled. You compile the hello world.java, and what it did is, as part of the compiler, it used the compiler that is part of the JDK. It used the compiler part of JDK, okay, and created a class file. Okay, what it did is created a class file. Okay, now this, when you're running the program, what happened is this class file is getting run by JVM. Okay, so JVM runs the class file and shows the output. Okay, now let's talk about what are the things happened here. The very important thing what happened is, this compiler and the JVM. Okay, the JVM, these are the platform dependent softwares. So platform dependent. Okay, these are the platform dependent. So what happens is, when you download Java, what you actually do is you download compiler and the JRE, which is JVM. Okay, so platform dependent. But what happens is, when you now this syntax of Java is actually common all across all the operating systems. So you have this Java, you compile it using a platform dependent kind of software. you convert it into the class file. Now this is the important step, because this class file that it created by the compiler is a platform independent code. Okay, and sometimes we call it bytecode as well. Bytecode. Okay, so we created a class file that is platform independent. Now to run a class file, you need a JVM. So now when you are on Windows machine, you use the Windows JVM and you run it. Else what you can do is you just copy the class file, like the class file that we were seeing before, and you take into anywhere, Unix, Mac, anywhere. You need to have the specific JVM for that particular operating system. That's it, and then you can execute your class file. So that makes that sort of thing make Java platform independent. Am I clear, guys? Okay, let me show you again with a different picture. So assume that this is hello world.java. There is a compiler, and this compiler is going to create a .class file. So this .class file is a platform independent formatting, or the format of Java. I mean, what happens is the syntax that you have written got converted into a class file. Okay, and that class file is class file is internally, if you open the class file, it is some sort of scripting. I mean, something is written inside there. I'll show you. User space. If I show you, so this is a class file. If I open this class file, right? So see this one, it has something written inside this. Okay, but what is important to understand is this kind of formatting has no relation with the operating system. So Java has created your Java thing and converted into a class file that has no relation with the operating system. Now you can take this class file anywhere on any operating system, but what is required is you need to have the JVM. You need to have the JVM for that particular operating system. Okay, and you take class file, create it anywhere, you give it to the JVM, and JVM will execute it. So that makes Java a platform independent thing. And this is a very basic interview question that you probably gonna face, in almost every interview. Guys, any questions here? Okay, I mean, anybody can say no, yes. I mean, that should be enough for me.
No, fine.
Okay, good then. Okay, so let's quickly go back and discuss about what are the characteristics of Java. Java is simple. I mean, if you see, there is not a lot of stuff in Java, because what you deal with is you mostly deal with object and the methods. And because of the Eclipse also, it is pretty simple to write Java programs. Object-oriented we have already discussed. Distributed Java means you can write internet-based application, but that is part of advanced Java, so we're not going to discuss right now. Java is a interpreted language, which means, okay, I don't know, I mean, if you're going to be interested. So what happens is, this is the operating system concept. I mean, people or the students from the computer science background, they understand there is two things. There is a compiler and there is something called interpreter. Let me write this. I'm bad with that word. So let's so one is called compiler, okay, and the other is called interpreter. Yeah, I think this one. Okay, so compiler is like, it takes a whole program and it converts into a machine readable format. Okay, like that machine can understand that. And what interpreter does is it takes line by line. So what happens is Java actually is a combination of both. What happens is the very first step when you convert Java, the whole Java into class file, that is compiler. But when class file execute, that happens using interpreter. So it goes line by line. Okay, so Java is a combination of compiler and interpreter. Okay, let's go further. Okay, so and then Java is a very secure language. So let's say if you have written a Java based application, it's very hard to get through Java because Java generally don't allows pointers. Like like in C and C++, people who have this background, they understand there is something called pointers which allows developers to play with the memory, but Java does not do that. Okay, and portable we have already discussed is a platform independent language, so it's portable. You can take let's say if you are working with Linux and suddenly you realize, okay, you have to move everything on Windows, you can move it without a lot of trouble. Okay, now how to write a Java application? So what we do is, first we always write a Java file, okay, then we create a class file, and then we just run the class file. Okay, so now because of Eclipse, it is very easy. So we just created a class Java file. Eclipse converted the Java file into a class file for us, which is pretty good, and then and we executed the program. Now there is few things, tricks or tips and tricks about the Eclipse. If you see, there's something called project. So this saying build automatically. So that is what Eclipse, or that is what guiding Eclipse to compile your Java as soon as you do anything wrong. So let's say so let's say it's build automatically on. Okay, if I come here, if I come to my day one, so this is my okay, this is my class file. So let's say I change something in my, right now if you see the timestamp is 8:14:728, which is some time, and I just change something here and I say Control S. What happens is, see, it immediately changed. It's 7:39 now. Even though I have changed into the Java file, but you immediately got a corresponding or respective class file changed as immediately. Okay, at that moment. If I'm gonna just go here and I'm gonna remove build automatically. So if I'm gonna do that, just let me do this way. Okay, so if I change build automatically, now if I'm gonna change anything, if I changed here, let's say, and I save it, okay, it's not changing here because I have instructed Eclipse that please don't do anything until I instruct you again. So build automatically is the thing that actually kind of helps Eclipse to understand what you want. Okay, so again, why I'm telling you all this thing is because without Eclipse, writing a program and understanding the things is going to be a little difficult also. So I'm just trying to give you as much knowledge as I can about Eclipse as well, because if you want to understand Eclipse well, definitely it's going to help you a lot to write your Java programs. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move further. So we just saw this thing. Let me just come back here. Okay, we already discussed about how Java is a platform independent language. This is again is telling you the same thing. What it's saying is, let's say you have this Java program written that you ran into Windows, you compiled it in Windows and you convert it into a bytecode. Now you can run on any machine. What is required is you need to have the JVM for that machine. So Mac OS should have a JVM installed. So you take the class file that is created on Windows, give it to or feed it to the Mac will run it. There is no problem. Same applies to if you're gonna feed it to Unix, or if you're gonna feed to Windows, it's gonna work. Okay, that makes Java is a pretty good language. Now go further. As again telling you a different way of telling the flow control. We're just telling you is you have a Java source, you use Java compiler, okay, and then you convert it into bytecode. Now you take bytecode or class file anywhere on any machine. What you need is the Java virtual machine for that computer, okay, and that's it. You can run it. Okay. Now, okay, so he's just telling you like the same stuff. Or now again, Java short. I mean, I just put this as a question. How Java is a platform independent? We have already discussed that. So guys, if you have any question about, you know, any confusion understanding this concept, you can ask me right now.
I just want to ask about the notes. I don't know if we have to write down notes or is it available for us so we can go over it after the class.
Notes. Okay, I really don't have notes. What I can do is I can share these presentations with you. I mean, that's what I can do. I really don't have notes.
Okay.
I mean, I can share. I can try to get some online ebooks. I mean, if you want. I mean, other than that, I don't have like notes as such. Like I haven't written any sort of notes and thing. But I mean, I'm gonna share these videos. I mean, what I'm gonna talking. I'm gonna have these videos for you. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Now it's telling me like the goals of Java. Mainly, what are the goals? So encapsulation. Okay, that's like one of the important Java object-oriented concept. It's called encapsulation, which pretty much stands for information hiding. Anybody knows what encapsulation is all about?
I think it's
Yeah. In encapsulation, we form the methods that we take method as a public and the member as a private.
Okay, but why we do that?
That's for the objective-oriented approach. Information in which we place the methods as a public and we are hiding the members. What's the doing inside the methods? Don't know outside.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I mean, what happens is, as part of encapsulation, what we always try to do is, we try to hide the information, but we try to expose the behaviors so that, you know, and we allows people to use those behaviors to access the information. We don't allow anybody to access information directly. We want that, okay, we want to control how information should be exposed to the outside world. That's what it means. Okay, so that's called encapsulation.
Is it like keeping the methods and the variables together in a concept called class?
Right. Exactly. It's a, and in Java, how we do that is we create classes, we create variables, which we call class variables. Okay, we expose them as private, which means those variables are not available for the outside world. But we make methods which is public, or you know, any other thing, and methods allows you to access the information. Okay, so that is what exactly encapsulation is all about, and that's what we just discussed. So in Java we achieve encapsulation using classes. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the second concept is called reusability. It's a very, very important concept. Reusability is how that is important is when we make classes, we can use those classes anywhere in the program. For an example, let's say we created a class called, you know, text calculator, which calculate taxes on the basis of your salary and few other parameters. And now you need to calculate the text at 5 different places. So it's not like that you need to write the same logic at five places. What you're probably going to do is you're going to have a class that's going to deal with your text calculation, and then you're going to use that class anywhere, wherever you need that. Okay?
So the class is like a global variable. You call it from anywhere in the program.
No, that is also we can control. Yeah, most of the classes is like you can use anywhere in the program, but yes, you can control that also.
Okay.
So we're gonna see that. So yeah, but the idea of the reusability is make classes that is globally available so that you can reuse it wherever you want.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
For an example, I quickly gonna give you an example. If I have this, you know, this hello world program, there is a class called math. Okay, there is a class called math. Okay, if you see right now, I say control, I'm going to do is I'm going to say control space. So as soon as I'm going to do the control space, it's going to tell me the available option around math. Okay, so this is a math class that is available in one of these jar files that Java has provided me that I can use into my program. Okay, so I use a math which is Java belongs to, and if you see java.lang, which means this is a math class that belongs to java.lang package. Like, our class belongs to com training day 01. There is a math class which belongs to java.lang package, okay, and that's available in the GRE system library. So I use this math class, okay, and I go further, and okay, and I say math, and I say, let's say, sine of 90. Okay, let me just print this. So I say sum dot out dot print ln. Okay, and I say I put in the braces, and I saved it. Right now, if I'm going to run this, you can run from here as well. You run, you say hello world. So see this one. The sine of 90 is something 0.89 something. Okay, so this is what it is. Guys, clear? So this is a math class that is available, and we're gonna use it. I mean, we can use it, so we are reusing the math class. Same way, we can make our own classes as well. Adaptability and the flexibility means how adaptable your classes is. Okay, so how frequently you can change something, and that's not going to impact a lot of work. So it's called loose coupling as well. So I'm not okay. So what I was discussing is, what I was trying to explain is, so math is one of those classes that is available with the GRE and that you can reuse. Okay, and same way you can create as many classes as you want that can be reused. Okay, so reusability is one of the important concepts that you can achieve using Java. Then the third thing is adaptability and the flexibility. This is more toward the loose coupling. So you can write Java programs that is which is loosely coupled. I mean, you can change something in the program. You can change something in your Java program, and the impact of that change is less on the overall system. So using Java, you can write things which is more adaptable and which has less impact on the overall system. And then the last one is distribution. We understand that using advanced Java, you can write application that can run over the internet, that can run over the network. So you are creating a distributed application. Okay. Now this is quickly few important things. Anatomy of Java program, like comments. We already discussed what comments is all about. We discussed about the packages. We discussed about the reserved keywords. So Java has, like other programming languages, we have reserved keywords. We have modifiers. Okay, so when I will say public, these are the modifiers. Okay, we're gonna discuss modifiers in very detailed way. Okay, and then we have statements. So each of these statements, so one line is like each statement. Okay, and then we have like blocks. So like block of like main method. Okay, then we have classes. Classes we already saw. We have classes. We have methods, and we have main method. So we have methods and we have main methods. So these are some of the basic terms that we generally use while working with Java programs. Guys, any questions so far?
No, fine.
Okay. So object-oriented programming language. Now everything is an object. I mean, the quick understanding that we discussed in Java, everything is an object. A program is a bunch of objects telling each other what to do by sending messages. We haven't seen one of those examples where we create multiple objects. For an example, what I want to say is, let's say I create a class. Okay, I create a class and I named it let's say messages. Okay, and in this message I'm not creating a main method. So in this message I create this class and I just say public void and I say hello. And in this one what I'm doing is I'm writing a statement which says say hello. Okay, and the same way I'm gonna have another method. I'm gonna have another method and I'm gonna say bye, and then you're gonna have like say bye, right? So you got these methods. Now if you come to your hello world, okay, what you can do is you can use this message class. How? Let me just delete this statement, or let me just comment this statement. To comment a statement, that these comments are like the multi-line comments, but here you can comment like this as well. So you commented a statement and you came like this and you say, okay, I want to use message class. So you say message. When you're gonna say control space, it's gonna tell you what message class you want to use. So generally, your Eclipse gonna try to show you which is nearer to you. So we have messages class, which is in COM training day 01 package. I'm gonna use it, okay, and I'm gonna make an object, okay, and I'm gonna say new messages, okay. Using new keyword, what I mean is you are creating an object of class messages, okay. And right now just try to take this, that okay, there is something called object, and using new we're gonna discuss in very detail like what exactly it means, okay. And then when you have the object, you can call the method that you just created. So you can say hello, you created this one, and ultimately at the last you can say bye, okay. So because you had an object, and using that object you can call it behaviors, okay. And if you see, these are the behaviors and that are publicly accessible, so that's why using the object you was able to call the method, okay. And if you see, again, important point is reusable. So like, let's say if you create one more class, so you can use the same messages class in that class as well. So you created a class that is reusable at few places, right? So that is what it's all about. Now each object has its own memory, okay. So definitely, I mean, when Java is running, it definitely have some memory thing, how exactly it works. So each object consume its own memory as well. Every object has a type, which is object-oriented terms means, okay. So every, I'm sorry, anybody has question?
No.
Okay. So what I was just telling is every object has a type as well. I mean, so like let's say message. So message is an object which is of type of messages, right? So yeah. So this is what it means. All objects of a particular type can receive same messages, okay. So you can create as many objects as you want. So I mean, let's say if you want to create one more object, you say messages, you say message2, and you can create one more object. So you can create as many objects of a particular type, okay. We're gonna have very detail in this right now. No need to worry about that. Now this is compiler execution, the same thing that we discussed I think couple of times before as well. You compile it, you got a bytecode, you need a JVM, and you can execute the program. Now what Java structure is all about. So Java program consists entirely of file containing classes. Classes are like the blueprints of the templates. They describe the structure and the operation of the objects. Objects are like whatever is made from the blueprints and the templates. So yeah. So objects is like whatever made from the classes. So you have classes and then you just keep trying to create objects of those classes. Objects are considered dynamic, and sometimes there is a need for something not to be dynamic, hence you made it declare it static. So we're gonna discuss what static is all about in further session. Again guys, just when we're gonna complete this session, you go through the whole video, try to understand as much as you can, and then just comes up with the question tomorrow. I mean, because I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of questions in couple of few starting sessions. So that's fine. I mean, you just come up with as many questions as you want. Okay. Now it's saying what is Java identifier. It's Java identifiers is like, how to create a Java variable. So if you see, this is a variable too, like messages. So it's saying your Java variable should always start with the letter. Okay, it can be a capital or a small letter, but remember, as a best practice, whenever we declare a variable, it has to start with this small character. Okay, until it's a constant. You should probably declare a variable always with this small letter. Okay, and it can contain numbers, underscore, or a dollar sign. Okay, it's a case sensitive. So I mean, so let's say if you have this message right here, but if you're going to change this M from capital, so these are two different variables. I mean, these are two different variables. One is message and one is message, but the only difference is one is small m, one is capital M. So these are two different variables. That means it's a case sensitive one. Okay, and cannot be and okay, you cannot declare a variable like with like a keyword. So I mean, if you're gonna do like messages, or let's say if I say int, and I can have like int value equals to 4, but this is a variable name value, but I cannot have like int public, which is like I'm trying to name a variable public, which is not possible because public is a keyword. So you have to use a variable name which is not a keyword. Okay? Guys, any questions? Okay, let's move further. Then we have comments and the reserved keywords. So you have like comments. You can have multi-line comments or the single line comments that we just saw. Okay. Reserved keywords, you understand that every programming language comes with a keyword that instruct a lot about your program, that tells a lot about your program. So for an example, we have access modifiers. We have like static is a keyword, void is a keyword, class is a keyword. So these are the keywords which is required, because every programming language is definitely need keywords. Okay, which and that actually is required to actually understand how your program is gonna work. Okay. Okay. So guys, this is the Java short. I'm gonna come back. So far, any questions in all of these discussion?
Well, I think it was really great. But I just have a question for you. If do you recommend us to contact any textbook, or do you think this is enough for us, like as a beginners?
No. I'm gonna send you a couple of links, or like few links where you can actually choose one of those links. Everybody has its own level. You go through those links. Yeah, I'm gonna send you reference points. I'm gonna send you this video. Okay, this is just like you get started with Java, but definitely there is a lot more things in Java, and you need to read about that. I mean, we cannot spend a lot of hours on that. So I mean, yeah, I'm gonna share ebook kind of thing with you guys.
Wonderful.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. I'm good. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Ritvik, how about you? Is good?
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay. Siddharth.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So I mean, I'm Siddharth, and I'm pretty much understand that. I mean, maybe because you understand Java before, so. But yeah, I'm just trying to include like from the very basic. I'm starting from the very basics, but yeah, it's definitely we're gonna catch up later. If you have any questions, other than like from all of these things, you can always shoot me an email. I will try to reply you. And
Sure.
okay. So, and Tamur, are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, perfect then, guys. So, guys, this. Let me just complete. How long time will the Java training program will going to take? Okay, so Amgad has a question. How long is Java training is planned? So I'm really not sure. I mean, my core Java I have designed like 15 classes. For advanced Java, probably is going to be more classes, because that's where we're gonna work on a live project and few other things. So yeah, so core Java right now 15 classes. Maybe we can include couple of more, and advanced Java I still has to plan it. But yeah, I'm gonna plan it once we're gonna finish the Core Java classes. So I would probably say today's like August 13th, or and we probably gonna finish our sessions by 15th of September. Like we're probably gonna take like 1 month. Okay, that's it, guys.
On Core Java?
No,
Up to
Core Java
15?
plus Advanced Java.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's a very fine lecture.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, guys. And I'm gonna share this video with you guys so that you can actually go through once again. And there is a question that I'm gonna give you guys before you go. There is something called mutable versus immutable classes. Right now, I'm not gonna give you anything. You go Google, do anything. Just try to get the answer for this one. What is mutable versus immutable? So I would probably gonna try, and when we're gonna after 3-4 sessions, I'm gonna share the exercises with you. But right now, this is the only question I'm gonna give you for the very first day: mutable versus immutable classes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll see you tomorrow then.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Thank you.